have you learned? Programmed to beat you. To beat you. Humans, what have you learned? It was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. Same mistakes. I was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. The same mistakes. I was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you.
Penalty. Here comes Neil. Trying to get past three-way. Andres right now has nowhere to go other than the wheel tracks. Now he has an opportunity. Now he gets past.
Takumi wins.
Over the line. Does Adam Schumacher to the front of the field.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to FRLT. It is time for our brand new championship, shall I say, the opening race of our new championship. And it is time for the Fours Championship. You could see we've got a lovely commentator's box now. But sadly, as you can see on the right-hand side, it says Cots. Sadly, he's not joining me for the 7 p.m. lobby. He will be joining me for the 8 p.m. lobby. So make sure you are around for that one as well. So we've got both happening. That will be happening at 8 p.m. I do apologise. We are about 10 minutes late. We just haven't exactly had it. I'm trying to figure out if we're missing anyone right now, because I think we might be missing. We're missing currently 3 drivers. We're meant to be having 16 for tonight's race, which is around Bahrain. It is round 1 Bahrain. I'll bring up the track map quickly. I haven't got the calendar, sadly, but track map, 15 turns, 5.412 kilometers, 3.362 miles, 3 DI stands down the pit straight, second straight, and back straight. Oh, quite a lot, quite a lot. So we only have 2 drivers we're waiting on now. We're only waiting for 2 drivers. Like I said, I do apologize that we are slightly late. Sorry, I'm just a little bit quiet for a second. Just having to type something. So we are readying up now. I do apologise for the small bits of silence, but we are finally ready to go here for round number 1 of our Fours Championship. So how this works is currently we only have 8 teams in our Fours Championship, so we have 4 teams of 4. So we have got that, but we're still missing 2 drivers. So I've told everybody to ready up if they would like to look at their phone. I think we're meant to be. These guys are just waiting. We're down to 13. Somebody's disconnected. I'm not sure what's going on. Nobody's readying up. Ready up. This is... Oh my god. Okay, so we'll be going at 7:14. I do apologise, I'm having to type a lot of stuff. So we will be getting going in about 2 minutes' time. As I showed you, we had that. Now, I do have the teams. I don't have a specific one for Fours for the teams in Season 2, but I can tell you which teams are competing and which teams that aren't competing. So, for this, of course, the only team that isn't on this list here is HDL. They're the only ones who aren't competing in our main championship of tier 1 or tier 2 but are competing here. SCT are also competing in our Fours Championship along with TIR, POR, XPG, DLRFP1, 12 Esports, AERO, all of those guys all competing with us. So we should be getting underway very soon in the next minute or so. In about the next minute. Yep, I am right. I hope everybody's having a great evening here tonight. It's definitely an interesting one. Like I said, I do apologise for the absolute long extra 10-minute wait you guys have had to wait for, and now 15 minutes will be close to. So this is going to be quite interesting to see how tonight will go. It is, of course, Bahrain. It's the opening race of the calendar on F1 and in real life F1. And so that is going to be something that I think is very interesting. That I think is going to be interesting. You know, it's a track that many drivers have quite a bit of a strength at. It's also a track where some drivers do struggle. So, for instance, I struggle around this track because, not really of its complexity, it's just because of the way its sort of layout is. It's just not how I like to drive it. So, So yeah, so we should be getting going in the next about 30 seconds, which will be quite nice. Well, in the next 5 seconds actually. Been talking a bit longer than I thought I was. We got 14 drivers, but we are missing 2 at the moment. I'm not sure which 2 we are missing at the moment. So we will see. We are missing 2. Everybody's readying up. Here we go. We're about to get into it. I'll take you to the screen in about 10 seconds time when we do actually get into the game. But like I said, Bahrain, interesting circuit. We are doing ultimately the layout of each of our races from Tier 1, Tier 2 and 4s are all the same. We have an 18-minute qualifying, a short qualifying, followed by a 50% race, which here will be 29 laps round the Sakir circuit of Bahrain. So yeah, we're actually into it now. We're into the game, and let me turn on some sound because there is none at the moment. So yeah, so this is going to be quite an interesting one for our for the first race. Of course, it's a bit of a different format compared to what most leagues do. Not a lot of leagues do 4s, so teams of 4. We should be having 4 teams of 4, but we are 2 drivers short. We're just waiting, I think, for the drivers to make their tyre selections. At the moment, they're going to have some time to do that, so we're just going to wait. So yeah, so they're getting into it now. Time has come down to 0. Said that for a little bit. And we are actually into qualifying. Here we are. Into qualifying. Finally. So, we've got quite a few drivers. You can see a couple of drivers, of course, running their team names, for instance, TIR, DLFP1, HDL. Not everybody running with it, like also DLFP1, but not everybody's running with that at the moment, so it's a little bit wobbly at the moment of who's doing what. Hello, Krish. Welcome to the hello, human. Hello, fellow human, as well to you. Everybody should be coming out of the pits very shortly. We're almost already 1 minute into the session. It's great to have you here tonight. Hopefully we'll be getting a few more people as the day goes along. I've got an annoying thing on my wrist, which is clanging against everything. We've got the first car out on track. First car out on track, which is HBE. He's the first driver out on track in the session, which is rather nice to have. We're going to bring up everything, because I forgot to do that. HB, first driver out on track. Please do not mind me if I don't know which teams, and when. It is due to me not knowing which teams exactly are running which liveries for tonight. Not everybody has told me the liveries they're running. So I believe this is SCT. I believe it's SCT. It might be AERO. I'll actually have a look at it now, so I can look at the lineups. I think it is. It might be. It's actually TIR. It's TIR. My bad. TIR. I'm so sorry. Actually getting your livery wrong. But HB will be the first driver we're going to be watching on the lap here. And let's watch on board with what he's going to do. My apologies. I don't know why the pause screen came up all of a sudden. But we're going to come down towards the pit straight, in towards turn 1, braking about 100 meters into the corner, nice and slowly. HB taking a bit of a tight line, going a bit wider and then tight to the corner, getting a decent exit. HB not going too badly. I don't think he's really using ERS. He hasn't. It doesn't look like he's pushing. I think he's just going for another warm-up lap here. So it doesn't look like he is exactly one with the car. I don't think he's setting anything quick, but he's still. I think he might still be pushing. I don't think he's got his battery on. No, he doesn't. I don't think he does. Let's move to the red car then. I think there's a red car out on track, and that is Krish. Krish coming round. Coming around turn 1, turn 2, and coming out of turn 3, the car sliding all over the place. He's using overtake, he's using all of his ERS. That's sort of what I was more looking for. The amount of ERS being used into turn 4, hooking the car up over the curb very slightly. You don't want to go over it too much or you do spin, nor do you want to miss it because you lose too much time. Now coming to the right, and now the left-hander out of sector 2, now into the right-hander. It's a bit of a tricky corner sometimes. Chris struggling very slightly with the car at the moment, struggling just very, very, very slightly. Now heading down into the hairpin-like corner. Not too much of a problem here on F124, I have to say. Even personally, I don't find the hairpin to be much of a problem on this year's game. Now heading into the left-hander, the HB sets the first lap time of the qualifying session here, and that is a 1 minute 30.0. I don't think he was pushing on that lap though, especially with how we've seen some time trial times be around 1 minute 25s. So he could have been pushing, but it could have just been a bit unlucky. I don't think he was because he wasn't really using ERS. But we're going to see, can Krish improve on this lap for DLIFP1? We've only got 14 drivers out of the 16, so we do have 2 drivers missing, but the points will still be maximum from 1st to 10th, just like in F1. It says 1 minute 28.210 from Krish. And not a bad lap there from the DLR FP1 man. As you can see, George Plaster goes almost exactly a second faster as he goes to a 1 minute 27.215. Diamond Miner goes P3 into a 1 minute 28.380. As you can see, the DLFBR1 driver there. I think HB stuck behind the purple car, a HDL car, I believe that is, that he got stuck behind a little bit. Trying to find the next car that's going to reach the line. That is Agent Epic. No way, we've got another Epic. We had this on Tier 2. Tier 1 we had on Tuesday. We had a driver with the name Epic in his name. See Agent Epic though, not too epic of a lap. Only 5th place. And a good 1.3 seconds off of the fastest lap time. Leo's just starting his lap. You can see Spears isn't particularly pushing. I don't think there's anybody really close to the line. I think the closest is Gone to the Moon. He's going to be the next driver, I think, to come up to the line. Let's see what he'll do here. Very important for, I believe he's in that HDL car. Important to see what he's going to do. Where are the 26s? That's what Geekin is talking about in chat. I do agree with you. Where are the 1 minute 26s? Somebody was saying about them. I saw it in chat earlier, in our Discord chat, in Force. Somebody was saying about doing 1 minute 26 second lap times around Bahrain. The closest we've gotten is a 1 minute 27.2. So close, but just needs a bit more. Now heading down into the right hander and the final sort of proper corner. Now heading up to the line. Let's see what Gone to the Moon's going to do. It's not going to be fastest. It's going to be a 1 minute 28.111. Jack put in a decent lap. He did a 1 minute 27.892. I think the next driver to come up to the line is Leo. Yes, it is. Let's see what he's going to set when he crosses the line. He's only going to go P7, a very low, right at the end of the 1 minute 28. Very close to a 29 there. I think we've got Marma and Liam Hardman. I think Liam Hardman is the next man who's on a lap. No, he's not. He's going slow. I think he's going for the extra lap. I'm clicking a little bit too far. Let's run on board with Marmowitz. I'm so sorry. I'm bashing him. Ooh, Geekin saying he only expects a 1 minute 26.5 from himself. Oh, pushing himself a little bit low there, Geekin. Give yourself some credit, my good friend. Now coming up to line, Marmot crosses the line, and he does go fastest by just 0.08 of a second, but it's enough to put him fastest for HDL. And that's P1 at the moment, ahead of George Blaster. And I'm accidentally clicking the wrong keys. But that is one hell of a lap time from Marmot. I keep on saying Marmot. But so far, quite a big grid split. You can see Krish just crossed the line. He's gone 0.4 faster and up into P3. I think we've got TIR Fresh. He's on a lap. He hasn't set a lap yet. Only 3 drivers yet to set a lap. Spears is out on an out lap at the moment. And Choco, I'm not going to say the final bit because I know I'm going to get clipped for that. But Choco, also still in the pits though. Choco's still in the pits. He still hasn't exited the pits yet. So quite interesting there from Choco. Now heading down towards the hairpin once again for TIR Fresh. Let's see what he can do. He's putting in... He looks smooth in the car. He looks... I must say, he looks at one with the car. In many ways, he looks at one with the car right now. Geeking with... Maybe I could just scrape the 25s at best. That is quite difficult. I mean, I can't even get into the 26s in time trial, so I'm a bit garbage at the moment on the game myself. But, yeah, 25s, very difficult to get into. Of course, we're only in the 1 minute 27s, so we're not even into the 26s. But you're saying you could get a 26.5, so maybe Keegan will show some pace there here tonight. But TIR Fresh goes P3. Half a second off of P2 though, just over half a second off. So there's definitely a gap between the top two and third. They're both HDL drivers as well, who are in the top two. So HDL looking like they could be coming out very strong here tonight with their team. Nobody really getting close to them at the moment. Spears is on a lap. He's entering the final sector. He's about to enter the final sector. Not too bad for the middle sector actually on timing. He's definitely in for maybe a 27 there. I do think he'll be in for a 27. I don't think much better is going to come from it. Let's see what he's going to do. Up to the line. Coming around the final corner. Let's see what is he going to do. How is he going to do? Up to the line. He's going to do a 1 minute 28.8. It's not slowest. It's not even second slowest. But it is only 11th at the moment. Ooh. I'm just, there's a bit of me just going, maybe that was good, maybe it wasn't. I don't really know at the moment because of just, it isn't great though for one HDL driver, of course, because he's down in P11 outside of the points, outside of the top 10. Same as SCT Leo, Liam Hardman and Choco, but Liam Hardman I think really just didn't really push on his lap. I think we've got a blue car. I think that is fresh, he's not pushing. I think we've got Diamond. Yes, Diamond is pushing. He's finding a second in his lap time. He's finding a lot of time at the moment. Let's see what Diamond's going to do when he comes up to the line. He's got quite a bit of pace behind him. Let's see what is he going to do. He's been improving by that 1 second. That's what we want to see. Coming up to the line. Can Diamond find more time as he comes up to the line? He's not going to go fastest. He's going to just miss out on second. But it is into the 1 minute 27.2s. And that's exactly what he'll be looking for in this session. There's a car that's going round. I think that's Choco. Choco's just, I think, starting his lap. Or he invalidated his last one. But I think we've got a couple of drivers. Spears, of course, didn't put in the best of a lap time. We can see Jack coming up to the line. He's going to go into the 1 minute 26. Out of nowhere, Jack, 1 minute 26.869 for his lap time. And that is provisional pole at the moment. And of almost 3/10 ahead of Mara Moritz, who was behind him in second. George Plasters just started his lap. I think the closest driver to the line is... I think it is Choco. Choco is the closest to the line, I do believe. He is the closest. He's using his ERS as much as he can. Now coming round into the left-hander. Not too confident in that HDL car still. Choco looking a bit off. He's looking quite far off the pace, to be honest. He's looking over a second off for the pace. We saw Diamond put it on 1 minute 6 point, I think it was 9. Or, 1 minute 6.8 or 1 minute 6.9 in that 1 minute 6.9, yeah, in that at the end of the middle sector. But Choco is in the 1 minute 8, so he's looking over a second off of where Diamond was. And he's only going to do a 1 minute 30.299 seconds slowest of the session from him. Not a good one there. George Plaster has peeled off on his lap. He's not pushing now. He's done. Same with Jack. A lot of drivers in the pits at the moment as we slowly get closer to the 5 minute mark, the final 5 minutes of qualifying here. But you can see Liam Hardman improved by 6 seconds. This will still only put him in a 1 minute 28 at the moment. So if he can improve by those 6 seconds, he could find himself into P10, possible top 10. It's looking like he will be P10. So it's not looking like the most perfect of starts for TIR. As you can see, here comes Liam Hardman up to line. He does a 26.8. Liam Hardman found even more time, and he's only 28 thousandths off of Jack in P1. TIR, we were saying about how HDL were P1 and P2. Now it's TIR in that 1-2 position, and they are on the rise. They are on the comeback here, and everything is looking better and better and better for TIR. It's looking like it could be a very dominant weekend for them. Choco just invalidated on his lap. We could see Leo, he was on an out lap, but he's coming back into the pit, so maybe just testing things. HBE is the first proper driver who's going to be on an out lap, going round rather slowly. Yeah, he's going round now. He's the last of them to be going round, so quite interesting to see there. Whew. As I said, a lot going on here tonight. But you could see HBE just... I don't know what it is. TIR, you know, they're P1, P2, and P6 and P7. So they've definitely got that split between their top two drivers and, of course, the bottom two drivers in their team. But overall, I mean, it'd be 43 points, sorry, at the top of the championship if they were to take 1-2. 43. That'd become 49. Wow, they would get 57 points if they finish in the race where they currently are in qualifying. They will finish with 57 points. That, to be honest, that's a really strong thing. I don't think there's one team that actually have all of their drivers inside of the top 10. I'm not sure. I know HDL SET don't have all of their drivers inside of the top 10. I know that. I won't... you'll be joining Lobby 2 pretty... I won't be joining Lobby 2. I won't be joining Lobby 2 at all. Yes, I know. It's sad. You can cry. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, so we won't be joining Lobby 2. So I won't be joining Lobby 2. You'll be having my good friend, the man who commentated also on Tier 1 on Tuesday, Cots. You'll be having that man. He also covered the qualifying that we had. So he'll be the man who'll be commentating on Lobby 2. But as you can see, HBE, let's see what he can do coming towards the end of this second sector. He's in a 1 minute 27.7, 9/10 off of first. Of course, he's hoping to be a bit closer. He's losing time. I think he's done with his lap. Yeah, I think I missed that. That might have just been me. But I still think he's going to be the first driver to cross the line in the end. If he's got enough fuel, he should have enough fuel for another run. So let's see what he's going to do. I think this has been the strategy from TIR all race long. Having these sort of double out laps almost, warming up the tyres a bit more. And into turn 1 goes the good man of HB. Out of there, heading down the second straight now. Bit of pace there from HB once again. He's got that bit of pace that you'd want to have. And this is exactly what you want to see from HB. He's improving very slightly at the moment. Even very slightly can still help him in final place though. Coming round into the hairpin. He's going to throw the car in. The car just sticking to the track. Just so perfectly. I have to say, the car was just sticking to the track. Just so incredibly perfectly with no problem at all. I have no words for it. That TIR car looking more stable than ever. Up 0.4 of a second at the moment. That still won't be enough to get him to gain him a position potentially, but we'll have to see what he does for the rest of the lap. It won't gain him a position as it stands unless he can find another 10th in this final sector, which is of course very short. He had 2 cars in his way. He's going to pick up some slipstream, so when he comes up to the line, it's a good lap from HBE. It's P4, and that's exactly what he'll be looking for in this session. Exactly what he'll be wanting. There's a car that's gone off in the final sector. That is Agent Epic. He's had a bad one in the middle sector. Really bad one in the middle sector, actually. He went off track. We've got, I think that is Choco. He's slower on this lap. Yeah, he's slower. He's done with qualifying. I think Choco is done with qualifying. We'll have to see. He will be the first driver, though, to cross the line and finish his qualifying. Of course, Agent Epic is also in the pit, so he's finished his qualifying. Choco will cross the line. He'll end his qualifying on track. And that is that done for him here tonight. We've got DLR, FP1, Glitch 10. Glitch 10 coming round. Let's see what he's going to do. Up to the line. DRS open. As he crosses the line, he finds almost 3.5 tenths. It's a good lap. George Plaster. George Plaster goes fastest of all. Out of nowhere. 1 minute 26.648. We've got Jack who's coming round. Liam Hardman who went P3. He's not going to find the time. He's going to be slightly slower. Jack is finding near on 0.3 of a second. Jack coming up to line. Let's see what he's going to do. Jack takes pole position here at the moment. There's still a few drivers to cross the line. But at the moment, he is far ahead of George Plaster. Just over 1/10 of a second. There's a bit more to be found. HB isn't going quickly. HB's the last driver. He's going slowly. I think he's out of fuel. Yes, he is. And so that means TIR are on pole position here in FRLT in round 1 of the Fours Championship. What a run from TIR, and what a start to their season that they would have been looking for. No, there will be. There is comms for Lobby 2. There are comms for Lobby 2. Just make it clear. But what a session we have had here. Jack on pole position with George Plaster in second, Liam Hardman third, Mara Moritz in fourth, Fresh in fifth, HB sixth, Diamond Miner in seventh, Krish in eighth, Glitch 10 in ninth, Gone to the Moon in 10th, Leo 11th, Spears 12th, Agent Epic 13th, and Choco in 14th and last place on the grid. Let's see what we're going to have. Just got to check when we are going. Let me just quickly sort that. We are going in 3 minutes time. 3 minutes time. We are going in 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes time, basically. So we are going at 7:39. So that is UK time, but in 39 wherever you are around the world. What a session that was, though. I mean, TIR stamping their dominance down in that session. Of course, I think they had 3 out of their 4 drivers inside of the top 5. So very important session for TIR, of course, because at the moment they're looking really strong. First and third, and then they've got, of course, they might have first and third, but they also have fifth. So at the moment they're looking really, really strong in this session at the moment. That's what they've got to do. That's what they've got to get going with at the moment. So I guess we'll have to see how they will do here tonight and for the rest of the race, because it is a long race. It is a 29 lap race. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watched us in qualifying. I hope you're having a great Sunday evening. I hope you guys are enjoying it, enjoying the stream, enjoying everything at the moment. Please do think about subscribing, leaving a like. Also click on the notification bell to know about every stream and every bit of content we will be releasing over this season and for the future altogether. Also follow us on Twitter and come join our Discord server. All of those links are down in our description below. I'm quite interested to see how we're going to do, because it is a rather interesting it's quite an interesting track strategy wise. Undercut does work, overcut can also work, but it's all about how your outlap goes, because if you have a bad outlap, which is maybe like half a second, 0.8 off of what an outlap needs to be, it can ultimately make you lose out quite heavily when it comes down to the actual race finish, because you know, when you're coming out of the pits, if somebody's tried to undercut you, in, you know, when you come out of the pits, then those 0.8 of a second, you're going to lose out because you're on cold tyres. Sorry, my brain is really struggling all of a sudden. But, you know, you're on cold tyres, you're going to struggle. You won't be able to defend against a driver on warm and readied up tyres. But if you do the overcut, that's the risk. The undercut, of course, there's less risk because if they pit later than you, you can catch them out. But you can also be caught out if you have too much of a slow out lap. So that's what it's all about in these races. That's what it's really about on the F1 game. That's what it's always been about. We are going. It is go, go, go. It's time to get going now in this race. We are going to see the lights. I'm going to see the whole grid in the next couple of seconds. Make sure to subscribe for all the more action to come this season. We, of course, have Tier 1 on our main championship. Tier 1 on Tuesdays. Tier 2 on Wednesdays. And 4s, of course, here on Sundays. So make sure you come and have a look. Make sure you always come and have a look at what we are doing and what is happening over here at FRLT. So we're just waiting for everybody to ready up. I've said go, and here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fire lights. And away we go here in Bahrain in FRLT in the Force Championship. It's a drive-through penalty for a jump start by already gone to the moon, and Jack leads out of turn 1 through turn 2, out of the first complex of corners. Jack leads. Marmot straight behind him. He's all over the back of him. The HDL driver trying to get past. Round the outside. Marmot, he's fighting. It's mediums versus softs. That's how it's going to go. Who's going to come out on top? They're still side by side heading into the second sector. Here they go. Coming round the right, left. It's ultimately Marmot who's going to come out on top there. He's got a lot of the pace. You can see another car behind trying to get past the other TIR driver of Liam Harmon. Everything is going down here now. You can see now coming down towards the hairpin. Will Jack look to make a move? No, he's not. He's not going to try it again. Nobody, I think, is making moves into the hairpin. There's a little bit of scrapping, a little bit of pushing further back. See a bit of contact further back with a white car. I believe that is an SCT driver for the back. That could be Agent Epic, or it is SCT Leo, who's had a very good start here. Now, heading round, coming up towards the end of Sector 2. You can see Marmot now leads for HDL, but he is on the soft tyres. So we've got to remember that could all change later on when it comes down to the pit stops. It's looking like a good start. Tyre-wise, a couple of drivers are going to the softs. So that's Marmot, George Plaster, SCT Leo, Spears, Agent Epic, and Gone to the Moon, all on the soft tyres. Everybody else on the medium tyres. So now coming down towards the pit straight once again as they cross the line to start lap 2 of this race. And what a crazy start it has been to begin the race now as we head down towards turn 1. You can see Jack struggling to keep up with the HDL car of Marmot. Of course, there is a tyre difference, softs to mediums. It's not the nicest thing to have against you in these races. And I am just very, very, very... Oh, that is very, very exciting. And that's been a crazy stop. You can see Liam Harmon having to battle with George Plaster. We could see an absolute move from DLIP1 Chris as he takes advantage of that last minute moment. As now, there goes the man of Chris into P4 as he takes advantage of George Plaster going deep because of him trying to make a move on TIR Liam Hardman. We look further back. Diamond Mine has just made a move on SCT Leo to make his way up into P9 in this race. Better points now for this team and for this man. This is exactly what he'd be wanting. Chris has made the move. Chris on those medium tyres, actually, the same tyres as Liam Hardman. He's made the move on Liam Hardman, and now up into P3 onto the podium for DLIFP1. Of course, their Tier 1 main championship campaign has not been going too well. They haven't scored any points in the first 2 races. They're looking to turn this around here in the Force Championship. They've had a horrible 2 weeks so far in Tier 1. Let's see if they can bring this back here in the Force. Now, you can just see DLIFP1 just lagging behind a bit. It's a 2.5 second gap between Chris and the top 2. Here comes Liam Harmon with the DRS. He's going to use it to get past Chris very easily. We're almost going to go 3 wide, I think. Into turn 1, we go 3 wide. Contact. It's HB, George Plaster, and Chris all battling. George Plaster goes over the curbs. He gets a 3-second time penalty. A big penalty there from Chris. This is exactly what he didn't want. You can see some fighting further back as Glitched Hen tries to make his way past George Plaster. He is going to try and make his way past George Plaster. If they're still going side by side, the tyre's still there. But there goes Glitched Hen into P6. And an even better start for DRP1 and an even better race it's looking like for these guys. Now, you could just see George Plaster just staying in behind. But he's the first driver with that penalty here on lap 3. But it's already a problem. You can see Gone to the Moon's already down in P14. And he's last and far off for the pack. So we might have to rule them out, unless there's a safety car. We might have to rule them out of any points here tonight for that team. But you can just see it is a lot of action happening everywhere. But that gap between P3 and P2 is growing, as now it's near on 3.5 seconds already here tonight. I mean, I can't believe that here already on just lap 3, it's almost a second a lap that they're currently losing. So there's quite a bit of a gap there between everybody, so we're going to have to see how it goes. But maybe there's just a bit of a queue. Drivers waiting to get past Liam Hardman, but at the moment they're just not able to exactly, and the way they want to, of course. Now, looking further back, SET Leo's just made a move on TIR Fresh as he's moved up to P11. George Plaster's made the move. He's trying to make the move on Glitch 10 into turn 1. They're running pretty much almost identical liveries, which is probably why I've gotten them mixed up a few times, and I do apologise for that. Now, heading down again, the second straight. You can see Krish is there. He's battling for P3. He's going to retake P3. He's back onto the podium for DLIF P1. It's exactly the right one, and it's exactly the right move that they needed to make. And this is exactly why DLIF P1 needs to push up, because they've been struggling this season so far in the main championship. But it is all going wrong as SET Leo's gone off. He's off the track. He is out of the race. He's crashed off into the distance. It is a full-blown safety car here. Will this change strategies? It is lap 4, but this could be giving a free pit stop for drivers like Marmot and anybody on those soft tyres. And so, this could change everything, but that does mean SET Leo is now out of the race and our first retiree of the Falls Championship. Now, everything's going to be very, very interesting. Very much. It's going to be interesting here and now. I do apologise. I'm having to write messages to people while... I do apologise. I am having to write messages to people while this is going on. Because we have, of course, Lobby 2, which is also will be happening very shortly in the next few minutes. At the moment, as you can see, Marmot leading this race still. He's getting a nice pit stop. Everybody looks like they're going to the hard tyres. George Plaster hasn't gone to the hard tyres. He's gone onto the soft. So let's have a look. I think everybody's coming to the pits now. Bit of a mix though. A lot of drivers on hard, but there's some drivers going for instance, softs, like with George Plaster, mediums for Diamond, Agent Epic, and Gone to the Moon. We've also got softs for Spears and George Plaster, like I said already. But you see a bit of a mix with the tyres, bit of a mix. But it is Marmot who leads, from Jack, from Krish, and from HB, Liam Hardman losing out to his teammate in the pit stops. Losing out to his teammate in the pit stops there. So definitely something going on there. Something definitely going on. So at the moment, somebody's mentioning about a connection problem. And I think that is Diamond who is struggling. So, at the moment, just waiting to see as the safety car comes around. Is it going to come in this lap? This has changed the race. A driver. Sorry, I was just responding to a driver who was saying about how he's having some, looks like some connection problems. Maybe he's just a bit, it looks like everybody's lagging to him. But from my view, everybody seems to be fine. So I'm not sure. So we'll have to see whether it is just driver connection or it is just overall the lobby. Of everybody warming up their tyres. The braking while driving doesn't exactly work on this year's game anymore. So it's a bit of a sad thing, but I did enjoy having. It's just easy to warm up your tyres, but we don't have that. You have to warm them up properly now. So, as you can see, coming down the pit straight, they're going to be going for another lap under the safety car. I think this will be the final lap they'll be under the safety car. So, this does change some things, I think, in the race-wise. Everybody's now done a pit stop. So, like I said, it's always a bit of a guessing game. It's always really difficult to decide whether it is one driver or it is another. But at the moment, we'll have to see how the connection holds for the man of Diamond, especially because he's P8 up for 4 points. Possibly could get 6 today if he stays close to George Plaster within 3 seconds of him. But still, everything is on the card still, because remember, it's lap 6. They should only get racing on lap 7 out of 29. We're still not even 20 laps away from the finish. There's still so much of the race to go. Everybody's coming for early pit stops, so there still might be some pit stops towards the end. There might not be. There will be a lot of strategy, though. This would have changed the strategy quite a bit. So we'll have to see as drivers come up to the line. I do want to say thank you to everybody for showing some absolute amazing support throughout Season 2, of course, here on the channel and just everywhere. Also, in the Discord server, I want to say thank you to everybody who, of course, makes this possible. Might as well say it while we're here under safety car. But like I said, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Even if you're just watching, it means a lot to me, and I think means a lot to everybody who works hard to make sure FRLT works. As the safety car is now coming in this lap, as race control says, although there's nobody really in race control. But now, Marmot making his way round, slowly and carefully making his way round to get onto the pit straight. He can control the pace, everybody wiggling around. The snaking motion is something we always see a lot of the time. Now heading down into the final corner. There goes Marmot. Is he going? Is he going? He's not going yet. He's not going yet. He's not going yet. Now he goes. He's getting away. He hasn't got the best of getaways because Jack has been able to jump with him too. Coming down the straight, you can see the top 3 all fighting over this. This could be the chance for the victory. Here comes Jack. Is he going to make a move? No, he isn't. He's going to go safe. You can see Marmowitz. He's gone rather deep. There's a car getting pushed off further back. I believe that was Glitch 10. Gone to the moon. Gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. It's all heading off again. I do apologize that it does say safety car on the top left. There isn't a safety car going on. It is just a bit of a game glitch, and it is quite annoying. But now, heading down towards the end of Sector 1, you can see Marmowitz leads. George Plaster having a fight with some drivers further behind, with HBE dropping back through the order. He's struggling quite a bit to catch up. George Plaster making a dive bomb on Liam Hartman, but clambering over the curb because he could not make that work out there. Now, looking further up, you can see still George Plaster under attack from Diamond. You can see HBE's fighting with Glitch 10. He's made his way just in front of Glitch 10 into P7. So things are coming together a little bit more and a little bit more each time. Some battling further back. One driver, I think that was Agent Epic, getting squeezed out very slightly there. So not everything working out in that case. But we return our eyes to the lead. We're going to ride on board with Jack. He is chasing after. This is probably the closest battle we have on track at the moment. And this is Jack chasing after Marmowitz. But he's also got to be careful of the driver of DLFP1, Krish, who is behind him at the moment, who could also make the charge for the lead. Only 2 drivers have penalties, and that's Gone to the Moon and George Plaster. And now DRS is enabled. There's a spin on the last corner. That spears. He's gone round on the last corner, but let's see. Jack heading down into turn 1. He's side by side. He's there. He's by the rear tyre. Lock up from Marmowitz. Bit of contact through turn 1. Going into turn 2. Who's going to be more confident It will be Marmorett. He's going to be confident again. Now the DRS opens for Jack. Is he going to send it into turn 4? We've seen it happen again. He's going to go around the outside. He's going to cut to the inside line. He's going to get the better drive. Is it going to be the perfect drive he needs? Maybe. No, it isn't, as he heads out of Sector 1. Still stuck in P2. But there's still some chances sitting around in the coming laps, because of course nothing is over until that checkered wave is flagged. As you can see, Diamond is trying to get past Liam Harmon. Some drivers struggling, some TIR drivers struggling. Choco's had a spin. He's round in that part where, of course, SET Leo crashed out, but he's got him going again. P12 and P13 both struggling on the hard tyres. Now, Jack leads. There's been a mistake for Marmorett. He's dropped down to P2. Jack now retakes the lead of the race. He's been waiting a few laps to do that. He's still got that HDL driver behind him, so he's got to be careful, but he's sliding everywhere, trying to keep it within track limits. Of course, Marmorett will have that DRS down the pit straight, so everything is now on that. Will Jack have enough ERS to stay in front, or won't he? We'll ride on board with Marmorett. You can see already he's got the overspeed, he's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS. He's going to pull past very nicely, and now Marmorett retakes the lead, not less than 2 kilometers down the road from when he lost it, and that is HDL back into the lead. Krish and George Plaster are still fighting, but Krish is just staying out in front at the moment. He's going to pick up DRS again, but here comes George Plaster. He's trying to make the move. Can he make the move? Will he make the move? No, he can't. He's not been able to make the move just yet. And that is still DLFP1 on the podium for the moment, but you can see a bit of battling further ahead. Jack looking to make a move on HDL Marmorett. Jack still not being able to, but he's been caught out slightly. He's been caught snapping slightly by Krish as he's trying to make the move, but he still can't get past either. It is all boiling down to track position here, because they might have to stop again in this race. They don't have to by the rules, but they might have to because of tyre wear. Up the TIR, that is what Paulos is saying, and I am going to cheer on for you too, because I don't support any team in this race, but up every team, let's be honest. These guys are battling really well at the moment. Of the top 6 within a second of each other. Only one driver with a penalty. The rest also back, going from P7 down to P11. Spears is round again. He's had a bit of a spin. He's still down in P12. He knocks out the sign for the pure fun of it as well. But we're going to return our eyes to the pit straight. The top 6 all still battling. Marmorett being one of them, still battling and trying to catch up and take his fight to the best, as he is leading this race here on lap 10 out of 29. We're just over a third of the way into the race. We can see a move happening further back. Glitch 10 has gone deep. He's gone a bit too deep. Chris also battling with George Plaster once again, both with DRS. They're heading towards turn 4. Chris has the inside line. He's going to pull out just in front, and that's going to keep him in P3 for the moment, but they're still going to go side by side, heading out of Sector 1 into Sector 2, side by side into the right left. There's contact! There is contact! George Plaster is round! He's dropping down the order incredibly quickly after contact with Chris. Wow! What is going on there between Chris and, of course, George Plaster? I think that could have just been a racing incident. We did see George Plaster not really backing out heading into the corner. He still wanted to battle it. He still wanted to fight. But in the end, he didn't end up working out. But whew, there is a lot. There is a lot going on. And now we should be getting going very, very shortly. Oh, I do apologize, guys. I am absolutely out of breath, out of everything, out of air, because I have been talking for minutes on end. There's going to be another move again. Marmorett trying to take the lead of the race for the second time here tonight. He's going to try and take the lead. He's not going to be able to take the lead. Not just yet. He's going to have to wait behind Jack for a little bit longer. Here he comes, coming down the pit straight. He's using his DRS. Is open. Heading into turn 1. They're still side by side. There's some battling further back. Marmorett trying to get the undercut. He does do it, but there's contact, and they are molding onto each other rather weirdly. I don't know what this game is anymore. And oh my god, Glitch 10 is dropping down the order. There's a yellow flag. And there goes Jack and Marmorett again. This battling is going all the way down to the wire. They're still battling like it is the final lap of the race, even though it is only lap 11 of this race. And a big milestone actually in today is that we've reached 100 views on the stream. So a little bit of cheering there for reaching 100 views on our first stream of 4s. I'm rather pleased. I'm rather happy by that, to be honest. Absolutely going wild at the moment. And I have no words for how this is working and how this is going on. Just no words at all. I have these top 2 are breaking away from the rest of the grid once again, and it's just so spicy. I don't even know what to call it. This is just crazy. This is just absolutely crazy. I have no words for this. It's been a crazy race from start to finish. These two battling out in qualifying. They were also battling over pole position. But here we go, heading down the pit straight again. This time not so close, but you can see Liam Hardman retakes P3s back onto the podium. You can see Chris and Diamond behind him, both for DLR P1 tonight. And you can see a move further back. I believe that was TIR Fresh making his way up into P6. He's jumping up the field very nicely. Looking at the position so far, TIR Fresh is down 1 position, but he's regaining his positions. Agent Epic up 5. George Plus dropping down, of course, because he had that spin. Chris also having a good race, same as Marmot. Everything is going down here in this race, so don't give it too long until it starts to spice up once again. And now as we head towards the hairpin, you can see riding on board with the man of course, riding on board with the man of Marmot. The man who's mostly led this race, let's be honest. Out of the 12 laps, as I'm looking here, out of the 12 laps, he's led 8 of the... he's led 7 whole laps out of the 12, with Liam Hardman leading 10. Leading 3. Leading 3 out of the... out of the 12. So, at the moment, watching down the pit straight, once again, you can see the cars so far from the distance, near on 3 seconds. That's how far back Liam Hardman is. But I don't think Jack's going to catch when he gets to the end of turn 1, because again, that straight line speed of the HDL car just seems to be really strong here tonight. It's shown it's been strong all day, really. It's really been showing it. It showed it during qualifying as well, because I looked and it just seems like on the straight, especially in the final sector, where it's just pretty much just flat out, full throttle. The HDL cars were quite fast on the straights. So quite interesting, actually. Now heading down into the right-hander. Once again, for the 13th time here tonight, they head into that right-hander. This track, you know, it's an easy track. It's a good track. And so, again, still, you can just see Jack just isn't close enough. He's not being able to get it. As we return to the pit straight once again, you can see, Marmot looking like he went in a little bit hot. He's looking like he went in a little bit hot. Just a little bit, not too much. But now, once again, heading down the pit straight. This time, Jack is a lot closer. He's within 0.2 of a second. And now, heading into turn 1, side by side. Oh, onto the curb goes Marmot. A little bit of pushing there, a little bit pushing and shoving. That's still going to happen through turn 3. Contact between the two. They are just scraping against each other. Is Marmot going to take the lead again with, of course, that beautiful DRS? But no, is it? Is he? I'm not getting a good angle on this, but yes, still. Marmot leads. Still. Still, Marmot leading. This is absolutely... I have no words for this. Also, by the way, I do apologize for the slight lateness of our lobby to stream. My good co-com in tier 1 and friend Kotz, he's having a couple of problems. at the moment. As you can see, finally, Jack has the speed, and he uses it, and he's up into the lead. Once again, he returns to the lead for the first time in 5 laps, by the way. He's returned to the lead for the first time in a few laps, so he's been waiting a while to make that move, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold it down the pit straight. But I guess we'll have to see. But like I said, it is slightly late for the stream in Lobby 2. Lobby 2 is also a little bit late in general. But you can see coming down, there's a yellow flag. That's Choco. He's had a bit of a spin again. But here comes Marmoret again. Is he going to catch out Jack on this straight? Maybe, maybe not. Jack goes to the inside to defend. He's choosing. He's going to push out Marmoret a little bit. Is Marmoret still going to go for it? Yes, he is. He's still trying to hold on to it. You can just see Marmoret all over the back of him. He's got ERS available as well for Marmoret. A lot more than what Jack has. And now into turn 4, he's going to try and swing it around the outside. Both of these drivers, of course, remember, on the same tyre. They should be on around the same tyre wear. And now heading into the right-left. He still can't get it through turn 5 and 6. Into turn 7 now. Can Marmoret get it? No, he can't. He's going to have to wait behind even longer. So Jack now holds on to the lead for longer than a sector since the last time he led a full lap. So we might be seeing Jack lead a full lap in. Ooh, a bit of contact. It looks like Jack went a bit deep, but Marmoret went a little bit too much. A little bit too much on the inside. So that's going to be close. Gone to the moon gets another 3-second time penalty in this race. Jack has gotten a penalty. Jack's gotten a penalty. Did I miss that? Was I being blind and did I just miss that? I probably did. But you can see Jack has a 3-second time penalty. I did not see that when he was making the move. I did not see that. So maybe it happened. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Jack, 3 seconds penalty, which will put him in P2. So Marmoret knows at the moment he's pretty much going to win, with George Placer also having a 3-second time penalty and gone to the moon with 6 seconds of penalties. But now, the idea, of course, for Jack will be to hold up Marmoret as much as he can and allow his teammate Liam Hardman to close back in. You can see, again, pushing the HDL driver onto that inside curb, not leaving much room. But again, we're going to come down the second straight. We're going to ride on board with Jack. You're going to see the tyres of the HDL car come out in front. Is he going to...
Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you.
Hello. I do apologise for the little problem we've had. I do apologise for the little problem we've just had. It was a little bit of a problem. Sadly, I do apologise for the missing of the action. Jack, once again, fighting over P1 and P2. I do apologise. It was a technical problem. Accidentally using double keys. I do apologise for that. Okay. Yeah, I do apologise. Yeah, so I do apologise very much for the problems, for the technical problem there. I do apologise, but we are heading down the pit straight. Into turn 1, you see Marmot taking the lead. I'm sorry, I am trying to sort the problems that we are having with the Lobby 2 stream. We might have another problem in a second. I'm not sure. Seems to be halfway internet, halfway YouTube being YouTube and not working. So we will see whether it will work in a minute. So we will see. It should work. There's a yellow flag that's gone to the moon. He's having a problem again. Like I said, I do apologise for the absolute horrendous problems of what just happened. I'm not sure why these problems are occurring tonight, but they are, because they like to be. So we will see. Or we might accidentally not have. We might accidentally not have a Lobby 2 stream, which is rather disappointing if we don't have that first race. Will be rather disappointing, but we will see. Into turn 1, Marmot still leads. Remember, we're down to the last couple of laps. 10 laps of this race to go. Only 10 laps. We're coming down towards the end. Now, everything is on the line once again. And again, Marmot and Jack fighting. Gone to the Moon is retired out on track. Is this going to lead to a safety car? There's some more battling between Marmot and Jack. Everything is still going. Everything's still going to the line. And Lobby 2 is now up, by the way. Lobby 2 is now up. So, apologies about the problems a few seconds ago, but Lobby 2 is now up. And everything is working. So, I do apologise for the lateness of Lobby 2 and the lateness of this lobby as well, because of the England game. But, now, I have to say, there is something quite interesting about this, is how there's a 5-second gap between P2 and P3. So, there's a rather big gap. And Krish, DLRP1 Krish, has found himself very much on his own in the order as well. He's very much found himself on his own. 5 seconds behind P2, and he's over 2 seconds ahead of P4. So it's about keeping that distance, but that is growing. It's 2.3, 2.4 now. So when you're gaining sort of a tenth, maybe a tenth and a half a corner, at that point you sort of know. Jack retakes the lead of the race. Of course, he does have that penalty, but he could get it removed, so we'll have to see. But it did look like it would be track limits. We could see TIR Fresh is in the pits. He's gone in for the soft tyres, so we might see a couple of people going in for softs. Marmot leads. Once again, he's retaken the lead of the race. At the moment, HDL could be coming out of the first race with a victory. and something quite big. George Plaster's up to P7, but of course still with that penalty. Diamond finds himself up into P8. So some points coming DLF P1's way. Are these... The big question now is, are these front two going to want to pit? Because they've been on their tyres for 13 laps, 13, 14. We've actually got it here. They've been on these tyres for 16 laps now. All of the top 6 are on 16 lap old tyres. Choco, of course, on 15, but still, all of the top 6 are on these 16 lap old tyres. The worry now is, will those tyres go off so heavily at the end, or do they want to risk it to possibly gain more? So for Jack, does he want to risk pitting and then using the fresh tyres, fresh softs, to get up in front? So we'll have to see what, of course, people will follow what the race leader does, or try and do something maybe a bit different. Maybe Krish will think he could do something a little bit different with it. But let's see. Neither of the front two coming in just yet. They're still not done with it. I do think there is that safety net that, of course, Marmor and Jack have, of that when they pit, they will come out in front of George Plaster. As you can see, again, some battling for the lead here. And again, Marmot finds himself behind, but he just has so much more ERS to spare. He's just going to use it down the straight. He's going to take up into the lead. Once again, into turn 4, he's back up into the lead, and it's exactly where he wants to be. I think we just saw Glitched Hen make his way up into P4, and stay ahead of HBE. So things are working out well for DLRFP1. I mean, it's a first place for HDL, second place for TIR, and a third and fourth for DLIFP1. So everything's working out rather nicely there. We've had 2 retirements in this race. Diamond gets a 3-second time penalty, so something's not working out too great there for some people. It is working out good for others. So everything is on the line. So that's an important thing that you've got to look at, is always what is on the line, what is needed, what isn't needed at the moment. By the way, just to let you guys know, Lobby 2 stream is up and running. Make sure to go and give that a quick watch if you guys are supporting any of the teams below. And I'll give you the small list of teams that are below. As you can see, we head towards the pit straight once again. I'll just let you know. In Lobby 2, we have AERO, 12 Esports, XPG, and POR in Lobby 2. If you support any of those teams, go over to our Lobby 2 stream, which is on the channel, of course, and go and click on that, and go and give that a watch. Of course, if you are here for the teams that we have, who are, of course, SET, HDL, DLFP1, and TIR, make sure to stick around here, of course, for those teams. So if you support any of those teams specifically, make sure... And like I said, if you guys really want to have a look, TIR Fresh puts in the fast lap of the race. Marmot still leads. But if you guys want to go and support that, really, really important if you guys want to go and support those teams. So go over there if you want to. But if you guys are enjoying this, just show some support. Oh, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. You love me. You love me deep down. No. So getting on to the race now, focusing back onto the race. That gap is now at 6 seconds, so another 1.2 seconds, almost 1.3 seconds now in this race. DLIFP1 looking all right. They're looking all right at the moment. They're looking quite good, of course. They haven't scored any points in the main championship in Tier 1. They're in Tier 1. They haven't scored a single point. The only team, the 11 teams that have competed in the first 2 races, of course, WR did drop out after round 1 as they shut down. But... DLIP1, the only team out of the 11 not to score points yet. They've raced in both races. They've had a rough start, but Hidden Falls, they're looking like they're not going to have as much of a rough start, because they're looking at P3 and P4 and a nice podium to go away with in DLFP1. But that is under the risk of HBE, who for TIR, he also wants to potentially take a podium here tonight as well. He wants to get that podium, and he wants to get another podium for TIR, so it's a nice 2-3 finish. That would be quite nice, of course, for TIR if they can walk away with that. All TIR drivers, all 4 of them, are inside of the top 10, so it's going to be maximum points. And of course, that's quite a big thing to have. We are missing 2 drivers. I think we're missing an SET driver. There's a yellow flag further back think that's for Choco, who's going quite slowly. Bit of a rough race for Liam Hardman. He was up, doing well earlier on in the session, early on in qualifying and in the race. He's kind of fallen away a little bit. He's dropped, of course, 3 places from the race start. He started 3rd. He's had a bit of a rough race so far down in P6. He's had a collision or 2. He struggled a bit on his tyres. He's really struggled. I have to say, the biggest place where he struggled, he wasn't too bad on the medium tyres. He actually had some pace, but on these hard tyres, he's really struggled to get away with anything, and that's just proven. It's been proven because the 3 cars up in front of him, that where sort of he was roughly before the pit stops, have really pulled away. They're 3.7 seconds ahead is his teammate HBE, so it's quite a big gap for, of course, him. So not everything's working out for TIR. It's not the best, not exactly what they need or want. Of course, it's rather difficult when you look at it like that. But there are still chances for Liam Hardman. He'll be hoping for a late safety car, virtual safety car, something to save him, as now that gap goes to over 4.2, 4.3 seconds now. But this is the big moment that I want to just show you guys. The closest driver to the top 7 is TIR Fresh. He's on fresh sets. He's on a fresh set of softs, 4 laps old. He's almost within 3 seconds of George Plaster. If he gets within 3 seconds, of course, he will get up into P7 and score 6 points. But the big thing is here, the fresh tyre runners aren't gaining a lot. They're not gaining a lot. They're not gaining as much as I thought they would gain. I thought they would gain maybe 100, maybe by the end of the race, if they were 5 seconds behind, they might finish 1 second in front, or maybe they would just finish, or they'd finish, for instance, 3 seconds or 2 seconds behind, but they might gain a position. But in the end, it hasn't worked out like that. And one guy who's actually struggling a bit is Glitch 10. I've just seen that because he almost dropped just over a second behind his teammate. He's struggling quite a bit. You can see a lot of understay on the front of his car. But talk about understay on the front of their car. It's Jack. He's taking the lead once again into turn 1. Jack goes very deep, almost hits into Marmot while he comes across once again, heading down onto the second straight DRS Open once again. Are we going to see a classic switchback move? Oh, some contact between the front 2. You could see Marmot slid into Jack. I think Marmot took the corner a bit too tight, tried to go in with a bit too much speed. He lost the rear and hit into Jack's front wing, so we'll have to see whether that is damage that Jack might have to fix. You can see the rear just not staying on that car there for Jack, nor is it staying on there for Marmot. So these couple of laps are now coming down. You can see the gap. Chris really starting to struggle on his tyres, actually. He's pulling away from his teammate, but he's almost 8 seconds off of P2. Really struggling to keep up as Jack now retakes the lead of the race. He has that penalty. Of course, the hope of removing that penalty might still be there. So we'll just have to hope and pray that, of course, he'll be hoping and praying that it will be able to be removed. He'll be hoping that it is just something like a just simply a double warning or just an unfair warning or something like that. So I guess we will have to see later on. So we'll have to see. Heading down the pit straight, heading towards turn 1. Once again, Marmot takes the lead of the race. He swipes over to hold on to the racing line and get the better braking, of course. Now heading towards the second straight. Let's see how it goes towards the second straight. Glitch 10 has had a bit of a moment further back with, I think he had just a bit of a moment altogether. That's allowed Liam Hardman to get within a second. It's possibly the stars are aligning for Liam Hardman a little bit. Maybe everything is coming together in these last 3 laps of the race. But still, he's now falling off once again, almost a second behind already. But he is closing back up a little bit of a rough couple of sectors. But this does look good for Liam Hardman, though. He could be looking at another potential points finish, another potential position gained later on. This is always the main thing, is he going to gain that? Is he going to get what he wants to get from this? And, this is something a lot of people say about Is he going to get what he needs? Is he going to get what he wants? I guess you'll have to see how it goes. At the moment, still, some things going on. Some things happening towards the end of the race. It's all strategy now. Marmot heading down the pit straight. He's using a lot of pace. And heading down. Jack retakes the lead though, as he's now going to lead into turn 1. There's a yellow flag. That's a car that's gone off. That's actually glitched Hen. He's gone off here just before lap 28 begins. And he's still P8, but he's dropped behind Liam Hardman, George Plaster and TIR Fresh. And it looks like a P8 might be the best he might get here tonight now. That looks like that could be his race over. And it looks like that could just be 4 points scored for DLFP1. They were looking much better. Chris has also lost out P3 to HBE at the moment. So some things falling apart for DLFP1. And now you can see TIR Fresh did catch up. He's caught up and he's gone past George Plaster for P6. And that is an improvement for TIR, and that's an improvement in their points. All 4 of their drivers inside of the top 6 now. 6th, 5th, 3rd, and 1st. But with the penalty, that will leave Jack in 2nd. But still, it's huge points coming their way tonight, and might actually be a championship lead. As if I'm thinking about it right now, that will be the championship lead at the moment. Will be there for TIR. But it's a good move for TIR Fresh. He's making his way back up the order. He had a bad start, and it's sort of been a bit of a struggle since then, but he's finding his pace once again, and he's finding his feet. The man who needs to find his feet now is Marmot, because we're about to go onto the final lap, lap 29 out of 29. Here we go. And now Marmot retakes the lead of the race. Of course, Jack has the penalty. Coming down into turn 1. It's going to be the final time they'll see turn 1 in tonight here in Lobby 1. Through turn 2 and through turn 3 now. They're going to be coming down the 2nd straight as they roll their cars at high speed towards turn 4. There's still going to be some battling further back going on for the lower points positions. But we're going to be watching what happens here in the lead, because everything is coming down to this. But we're going to look back actually, because Chris is making his move into turn 4. He's going to try and make it past HBE. He is going to push his way past HBE. HBE tried to take a tighter line, but it doesn't work in the end for the TIR driver. So he might have to stay in P4 at the moment. But then again, look at how close he is. Liam Hardman's also closing in on this battle. He's almost within a second. He is now within a second. He will pick up DRS on this battle. You can see Chris, he's fighting against all the elements. He's fighting against everything he's got. He needs to make this work. He needs to make this happen now. And now heading down this 2nd straight, it's all to play for. But still, HBE is not close enough to the DLFP1 driver, so everything's still not going to work. But we're going to return our eyes to the front of the grid. Marmot leads. We head towards the final corner. Jack coming round, trying to make an outside move around the final corner. And it's still going to be battling. They're still going to be side by side as they come up to the line. Here they go, side by side. Jack wins. He does cross the line first, but with a penalty, he'll be 2nd with Marmot in winning the race. HBE, he makes it the last moment. He'll do it. He takes 3rd. Liam Harmon 4th. DLFP1 Chris in 5th. TR Fresh in 6th. George Plaster 7th. Then we're going to have Glitched Hen, who is down in P8. There's some battling further back. I think that's actually a lapped car. As he comes up to the line, he's going to finish 8th. And there goes Diamond in 9th. A rough weekend for DLFP1 as now Edge and Epic is the last driver to cross the line and finish P10 in this race. And ultimately, he will pick up the final point for SCT. And it's a good final point. Absolutely some crazy things going on here and now. I have to say, a lot of crazy things. Now you can see Spears crosses the line, the last driver to cross the line here tonight. But what an end to this race. It was a race up to the line. Let's see whether, of course, the TIR man will want that penalty removed. We'll try and get that penalty removed, because if he does, that could mean he's won the race. But at the moment, you could see HDL are on top. They take the opening win this season. And so let's look at the order of the race as it ended. Marmorot wins from 4th on the grid and scores 25 points for HDL. But it's a great day for TIR because they finished 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, a nice hat-trick of positions. DRFP1 Chris finishes in 5th, TIR Fresh in 6th, George Plaster has a rough race and only finishes 7th. Glitched Hen is 8th, Diamond Miner in 9th, and Agent Epic finishes at the points, with Spears and Choco in 11th and 12th. The 2 retirees from the race were Gone to the Moon and SCT Leo. What a race that was. What a race it was altogether. Oh, that was quite exciting. That was quite exhilarating, I have to say. But ultimately, well, you know, there's one driver I have to give Driver of the Day to. But that driver cannot be anybody other than the Marmorot. Actually, ooh, this is difficult. I would say Marmorot and HBE. I think they both win it. But in my heart, I know it's HBE. In my heart, it's HBE. Because, you know, he fought his way through quite a few drivers. He made up some positions. Rather interesting to see. Rather interesting, quite nice. Absolutely crazy. Very good racing. Amazing from everybody. Ultimately, that is the end of the stream. And that is ultimately the end of Lobby 1 for round 1 of our Fours Championship. I want to thank everybody for being here and enjoying the stream and supporting us. Also, thanks to all the drivers and, of course, team managers for making this possible, along with my moderators and everybody who just helps me in general. Ultimately, that is the end. I hope everybody has enjoyed it. Please think about subscribing to the channel. Also, click on the notification bell to know about more content like this whenever we stream, upload. Of course, we have Tier 1 on Tuesdays, Tier 2 on Wednesdays, and 4s on Sundays at 8 PM. Make sure 7 and 8 PM. So make sure to tune in for all of those. Also, go and follow us on Twitter. The link is below, same as also joining our Discord server. The link is also below down there. But ultimately, thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great week, a great day, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Andres picks up a penalty. Here comes Leo trying to get past three-way. Andres right now has nowhere to go other than the wheel tracks. Now he has an opportunity. Now he gets past.
Takumi wins.
Over the line. Does Adam Schumacher to the front of the field.
Humans, what have you learned?